Alright, so if you're a smart advertiser on Meta, you know the drill, right? You're probably laser focused on the big three: Facebook feed, Instagram stories, and of course, Reels. And that makes total sense. That's where all the proven scale and performance is. It's the safe bet. But here's a thought. What if, while everyone is looking at the main stage, a huge opportunity is quietly taking shape in the wings? What if there's a new placement that most of your competition is still completely writing off, giving you a chance to get in before everyone else? And look, I totally get the skepticism. I mean, the standard playbook, the safe playbook, tells you to wait. Don't waste your budget on some unproven, buggy new placement. It's just a distraction from optimizing the channels that are already making you money. Why take the risk? It's a fair point, and it's what most people are thinking. But that safe perspective, it might just be the thing that causes you to miss the bigger picture here. Because when you actually look closer at this overlooked placement, the story starts to get really interesting. So let's dive into what most advertisers are missing. It all starts with this one giant number: 400 million. That's how many monthly active users are on Threads right now. This is not some tiny experimental app we're talking about. This is a platform with serious global scale that Zuck himself thinks could hit 1 billion users. The audience is there. Okay, but a big user number alone isn't the whole story, right? We've seen that before. What's really, really interesting is what Meta has been quietly doing behind the scenes. They recently shipped 2 foundational updates that basically scream to any serious operator that Threads is not just an experiment anymore. These are the 2 signals that change everything. So what are they? First, a full global ad rollout. And second, a really important update to their marketing API. Now, on the surface, these might sound like kind of boring technical updates, but trust me, when you unpack them, they reveal exactly where Meta's heading with this platform. So let's break that first one down: the global rollout. This means ads on Threads are no longer some limited test for a few chosen brands. The placement is now fully baked into Ads Manager for everyone. You can get there through Advantage Plus campaigns, or you can select it manually. It is officially open for business everywhere. Okay, and the second one, honestly, this is the one that should make any serious operator's ears perk up: the marketing API update. Think of the API as the deep-level plumbing of the entire ad system. Meta has now built out support for app install ads and given partners advanced tools to moderate replies. You just don't build out this level of heavy-duty infrastructure for a side project. This is a massive signal that they're building Threads to be a core piece of their ad machine. So, okay, we've got the what. Now let's talk about the so what. Why do these signals actually matter? It's all about reading between the lines of what the platform is telling you. And this is really where you see the difference between a surface-level view and a real operator's view. The average advertiser is just going to see Threads as another checkbox in their placement settings. Fine. But a savvy operator sees these updates and thinks, whoa, that signals deep infrastructure investment and, more importantly, a full integration into Meta's core advertising AI. And this is probably the most crucial thing to understand. Threads is not some little startup trying to build an ad platform from zero. No way. It is plugging directly into the most sophisticated, most powerful social ad engine ever built. It gets to inherit decades of data and technology from day one. See, the ads on Threads, they're not running on some new clunky system. They are powered by the exact same engine as Instagram and Facebook, including the new adaptive ranking model. This is Meta's massive LLM scale AI that intelligently delivers ads. This is the same model that they said delivered a 3% lift in conversions on Instagram, and Threads gets that power right out of the box. Okay, so what does this all add up to for you, the person actually spending the money? It means there's a window, a real opportunity for early adopters, and it's an edge that, by its very nature, is not going to last forever. Just think about the life cycle of basically any ad placement ever. You've got the early days, right? That's when competition is low, which can mean cheaper CPMs and tons of room to learn. Then comes the growth phase, where best practices start to pop up and things get more competitive. And finally, you hit maturity, and suddenly it's crowded and expensive. Well, with Threads ads, we are squarely in that first stage. And hey, it's not just me saying this. Industry folks are starting to catch on. Search engine land put it pretty plainly. Early adoption here could give brands a real competitive edge as this thing scales up. People are starting to pay attention. So the advantage here is pretty straightforward, right? You're up against way less competition, which opens up the potential for lower costs. But honestly, the bigger prize is the first mover learning opportunity. You get to figure out what works on this brand new surface before your competitors even know where to start. You can literally help define what good advertising looks like on Threads. All right, so hopefully you're seeing the opportunity, but how do you actually act on this without, just throwing your money away? You need a smart, low-risk way to test the waters. You need a framework. And I need to be super clear about this. The answer is not to go and dump half your budget into Threads tomorrow. That would be completely irresponsible. This is all about smart, calculated exploration. So here's a simple 4-step framework you can use. It's just monitor, isolate, analyze, and learn. It's designed to give you valuable insights with minimal risk. Step 1, monitor, is the absolute easiest. You could literally do this today. If you're running Advantage Plus campaigns, chances are Threads is already enabled by default. Don't turn it off. Instead, just start keeping an eye on the placement level data in your reporting. See how much spend it's getting. See what the initial performance looks like. That's your baseline. Okay, next up, steps 2 and 3. Isolate and analyze. So if that initial data you're monitoring looks kind of interesting, or you just want a cleaner read, it's time to run a small, dedicated test. You could duplicate a campaign that's already working well and set it to only run on the Threads placement. This creates a controlled environment where you can really see how it performs on its own. And that brings us to the final and honestly the most important step, learn. The whole goal here isn't just to find out if Threads works. The goal is to figure out what works. Does conversational, text-heavy creative win? Do simple images beat out polished videos? This is your chance to build your own proprietary playbook for Threads before it becomes common knowledge. So, look, the signals are all there. Meta is showing its hand. The platform has massive scale, the deep infrastructure is being built out, and it's plugged into their best-in-class ad engine. The only question you have to ask yourself is, are you going to act on these early signals now? Or are you going to wait until the opportunity is obvious, crowded, and way more expensive for everyone? If this kind of meta/ad platform breakdown is useful, that's exactly the kind of thing I'm building inside MCR. Comment MCR and I'll send you the link.